Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, everybody. How are we doing today? Hopefully we are doing very well. Very, very well. Definitely, I'm so happy that I can sort of get back to what's normal for me. It's abnormal for me not to come here and give you guys a show and things of that nature. And so much has happened in my absence that there's a lot of ground to cover, actually. There's quite a bit of ground to cover. But we're going to cover it, right? We definitely gonna cover it. So I know there are a lot of things to cover. I still need to look over that Nick Fuentes situation, because we definitely gonna talk about that. That might be my Friday show. Okay. But today, thank you, Fredericks at Crimson. These females want a man with a 501k out here. You know, they don't know what they want. And that's actually part of the problem. They don't know really what they want, right? So I'm going to show you a clip, and it's a short. And usually I save the shorts for a video. But this situation, I had more to talk about than just a few minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, because we really need to look into this. Black women have got everything backwards. Like, y'all have got everything backwards. This is why I keep going. This is why I'm not gonna stop. This is why, no matter how many times y'all come to my channel trying to tell me that not all Black women are doing this and not all Black women are doing that, we're not doing it. I'm gonna continue to generalize as long as these backwards, back-footed, destructive mentalities are normal for y'all. That's why I take these small snippets and I take these individual stories and I talk about them. It's not just to talk about the people in the story. They're relevant because so many Black women actually behave and think in this manner, that even the incidents and people and lives and families that never get on social media are actually going through this stuff on a daily basis. That's why it's so relatable. No matter which side of it you on, whether you're on the hyena side or whether you're not, it's relatable because you either went through it or you know somebody that went through it, or you were the cause of some stuff, or whatever the situation might be. Thank you, 69 Certified. Say, hey, Kendra, did you hear about what Suki Hana is out here doing? And she was worried about a man leaning in for a kiss from her. The only last thing I heard about Suki was her being on stage letting some woman do a defiling act to her in front of everybody. And that was after the whole YK Osiris situation. So when I talk about this stuff, this isn't just to talk about Keke Palmer and her being a celebrity and her celebrity business. The thing that makes the Keke Palmer situation relevant is the response from the sisterhood that's not celebrities. The response from an overwhelming majority of Black women who don't nearly have the money or the status or the recognizability that Kiki has, yet they carry that same energy in their relationships. Same energy. The responses, I almost want to go back in on Kiki. I almost want to go back in. The responses to her, yeah, girl, just do this, yeah, girl. Like, y'all don't be getting the dysfunction that y'all are in. So dysfunction, you don't even know you dysfunctional. You think you're normal. You think you're normal. You think you are doing these things and this is just what it is. And this is what it's supposed to be. Thank you, 69 says she has several degrading sexual videos out here, especially of fluid being placed on her face. I'm not even surprised. Y'all are always in the sisterhood condoning everything foolish, and then you drag everybody that try to do what's not in the lost value system. We trying to come out of the lost value system, and y'all are fighting tooth and nail to stay in it. And that is the bottom line. That is the bottom line of what is happening in the so-called community, as it were. There are only a few of us who are trying to live by the 10 life value system, and it's a whole heap of y'all that's living in the lost value system, and you love every dysfunctional minute of it, every destructive minute of it, every degrading minute of it. Y'all will back all the foolishness in the world. Soon as India Ari come up and say, you know, this doesn't represent us well. We got to be represented better as Black women and as musicians and da-da-da-da-da. Like, y'all had a problem with her Twitter post. She didn't come down hard on Meg or Janelle Monáe. But she got her opinion of it. Thank you, Original Man says they should leave India Ari alone. They really do need to, because India Ari don't be bothering nobody. I don't know what she do in her personal life, but whatever it is, she keep it personal. And y'all have dragged that woman like she hating. India not hating on nobody. She got more talent in her left pinky toe than Meg and Janelle, really, and Janelle. And I actually think Janelle is talented. She just being a hyena. Thank you, J.S. Hooper. Said they claim it's not all, yet they're writing articles in NBC News defending Black women's foolishness and dysfunction. Exactly. Not all, but just 99.9% of you. But not all. So today, what I wanted to point out is it's almost an extension as why Black women are not wives. Even when you marry these thoughts, they are not wives. Every married woman is not a wife. She just happened to have played some sucker into believing what she was doing, and he wifed her up unbeknownst to him. She's being a backfoot. Every married woman is not a wife. Because we got chicks out here with rings on that have no honor. This is why I didn't buy this. This is why I wasn't leaning towards the whole Kiki thing and her man didn't have a ring. Y'all disrespect the men that give you rings. So what does a ring do? Nothing. It's just another talking point. It's just another thing to deflect. It's just another thing to say. Because all y'all do is talk. All y'all do is run y'all mouth. All y'all do is pop your gums, talking loud and saying nothing, loud and wrong and stupid. Thank you, Well B. Said Kiki let the sister put that battery in her back, sing and let it burn to further insult her baby. And yeah, she said, "Yeah, you gonna burn." Right now, I'm going to show a clip of women who are stealing from their husbands. And even this foolishness is being condoned. Let me real quick. I'm going to share my screen.
How do I got a bank statement in the mail or with an account that I don't know nothing about?
I'm a woman. If you were to leave me, I need to be okay. Everything I've done for us, are you serious? You mad because I'm putting
everything you done for who? Everything you done for me, I'm the one working. I'm the one putting in the time. $22,000 is just a little bit of money to you, huh?
This is outrageous. Right to jail, right away.
Why have you been taking money from my account and putting it in yours without me knowing? $22,000 is a lot of money to be missing.
You mad about me putting money to the side? I'm not giving it up, so I don't care.
You sure about that?
Kid, you so mad about this money. What are you gonna do about it? I'm not giving it up.
With the $300 coming on my account. And
I've been helping Dante while he locked up for me.
Dante? Yo, tell me what this.
Yes.
Yo, ex, why is you sending your ex $300 of my money? Need help with $300 a week for Yolanda?
To survive.
Survive what?
In prison.
Police! Help! Help! How do I got a bank statement in the mail or with an account that I don't know nothing about?
I'm a woman. If you were to...
Now, I'm actually going to stop sharing this. Okay. It was the what you gonna do about it for me. It was really the what you gonna do about it for me. Y'all know sometimes I be having my little notes. Each day, I'm more and more disgusted. I'm more and more disgusted every day. I'm more and more disgusted by hyenas each day. It was what she said. I'm a woman. And if you leave me, I need to be okay. You know what really killed me? These hyenas talking like this is 1765 and women don't have rights. And when men leave, women die and perish. That's what killed me about these hyenas. Because on the one hand, you don't need men in order to survive. On the other hand, if he leave you, you won't be able to survive. And that's why that justifies you stealing money from him and taking money from the household. Because you're a woman and this is 1762 and you don't have rights as a human being or a citizen in this country, correct? When on the other end, y'all are constantly bragging.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
Constantly bragging about your degree and about what you got and about what you know and about how much money you can make. And about how you don't really need him to do this and do that. I don't need you, I want you, and all that kind of stuff. So what's the problem? She seemed able-bodied to me. You was cunning enough to sit there and steal money out of his account, but you didn't have the sense or the wherewithal or the physical, You didn't have the strength to get up and work. Where your money? And she sat there with an attitude. This is how you know black women done went crazy. Thank you, Luke Casely. Thank you, Miss Almanize. I thought she had done a lot for them. Then go get money. Right. Then go get some money then. After all I done for us, you stolen from us. There is no us. There is no us. You take money from the family pot, the money that I make, and put into the household. You're taking parts of that little by little and putting it in you. You're squirreling it away for you because you have an exit plan. And they always got an exit plan. They don't never plan to stay in these marriages. A lot of these hyenas, if they manage to get wifed up, they don't be planning on staying in these marriages, especially if they get men that are making money. Here's another thing that debunks, that all of these dudes are broke. You can't squirrel away $22,000 if $22,000 is not there to be stolen. Okay? You cannot steal $22,000 without $22,000 being there to be stolen. Furthermore, it's much more than $22,000 being made at any one time because you were able to steal it before he could recognize that that's what you were doing. See, when you real broke, you keep tabs on every dime and dollar in that bank account because you're messing around in overdraft, you get happy and get to spending. But when you have more money, it's not that you don't pay attention. It's just that it's not so straightened because you know what you made and you know what's in there. And so, you know, if you spend a little bit extra here and there, you're not going to be, out in dire straits. Thank you so much. You can't see me. Said waiting to hear the U-Haul story. The U-Haul story is kind of ridiculous. I think my speakers is all right. Hold on. Tell me, can y'all hear this when I mute the mic? Y'all can hear that? Okay, good. Because the speaker stuff do something weird on my end. Okay. Thank you. You can't see me. Thank you, Trey Kushanada, saying these chicks want generational wealth. They don't. Thank you, Anthony, said stealing is a sin. Exactly. Thank you, Medic58, said this was taught to them by their mothers. He should have reverse drained the account. He had the bank statement. Thank you, Black Goku Zero, said, and you got simps like Dr. Umar telling black men to just take it and deal with it. And you wonder why black men are checking out or going elsewhere. Precisely. They are married. And married hyenas make it difficult for married lionesses. Because if the account, the only way she could do that one or two ways. They have a joint account where she's able to transfer money because she's an authorized user on the account as well, or she just has his information. When in my first marriage, I was in charge of paying all the bills and stuff from the account. Like I had my personal account that he never was on or never wanted to be on. He had his account. And he told me to use his account to pay the bills out of. Well, during that time, when stuff started switching over more and more to being online, rather than having to go in and do everything in person, he didn't want to deal with it. So he just told me set up everything online and I dealt with it. Okay, fine. So that meant I had all his passwords. I had all the access that he had to the funds. And I mean, we were kind of poor, so it was not like we had a whole lot of money. But poor or not, all I did was pay the bills out of it. Any money that was spent outside of any particular bill money or anything like that, he knew because I would ask. Okay? So there was never any taking the money and doing something else with it or anything like that. Because lionesses don't misappropriate money. Because the reason why lionesses don't misappropriate money is because we're not so stupid as to ruin our own boat. We're not going to put a hole in our own boat just to watch him sink. We're not going to do, because we sitting in the boat with you. Why would I poke a hole in it to watch you sink and not think that I'm going to sink and drown as well? They weird. That hyenas is weird. Hyenas are being weird. They weird. Thank you, Arlisa. Keep in mind, she didn't take 22K all at once. This was probably over time, which is why he didn't notice immediately. This man is a high earner. Exactly. And that was the point that I was trying to make. He's not nickel and dime. He's got, you know what I'm saying? He ain't worried about, he only got $200-$300 in the bank at any given time, because you're going to notice that, because how could you not notice it? I've been in that position where you only got a few dollars and you be watching them like a hawk. So like I said, lionesses don't misappropriate money because that sinks our boat too. Plus, we not in competition with our husbands, but that's for later on in the show. Then she's talking about, well, I'm a woman. And if you leave, I got to be okay. And then on top of that, I think Black women don't understand what part of what they do and say get them dealt with. They don't get the part that get them dealt with. See, it's compounding the issue. First of all, you stole, and you stole a significant amount of money. That's a felony amount of money. You stole a felony amount of money. Okay? That's number one. On top of it, when you're caught red-handed, you are not even remorseful or like, man, I'm sorry, I did it for this reason. You standing up there like, and literally to say, well, what are you going to do about it? Because I'm not giving it up. And y'all will sit there and dare a man to his face in light of a situation like that and say, what are you going to do about it? You have no idea about the level of anger that you incite in a man with that. You don't play with a man's heart, and you don't play with his money. You don't play with his heart. You don't play with his money. Thank you, Rumin. Said Black women have been showing us better than they could tell us long enough. We believe you now. That's why a lot of brothers catch flights now. Exactly. Thank you, Original Man. Said red rum and attempted red rum in the first degree. Yeah, this is what happens. A whole Bart Simpson choke till you not here no more. Y'all, because y'all are defiant on top of not understanding who men are and how men process information. This is actually what gets y'all dealt with the most. To sit up there with a haughty, defiant, what you gonna do? Because I said what I said and I did what I did. You don't want to know what he will do. Because the worst thing that y'all can think of is, well, I don't see how he can make me give him the money back. At some points, it's not even about the actual thing that was done. It's about your attitude. What you gonna do about it? What about you don't be here no more? Now he got an answer for that in a court of law. because you take these men to their limits and you take them all the way to the edge. And then you be surprised when they go ahead and push you over that edge. But you took them over there to the edge and then dared them. Thank you, 39 Dina. Thank you, Original Man. So this is a commercial for Passport Bros. It is. So there are several issues wrong off the bat. She has no remorse for wrongdoing because she doesn't see it as wrongdoing. That's really the problem. And we're going to get to why not. She gave an excuse about needing it just in case. But just in case of what? She's the one squirreling money away. So he's not the one planning on leaving. She is. Y'all disregard y'all own relationships because these are not relationships to y'all. Marriage or not, ring or not, these are not relationships to hyenas. Hyenas are never in relationships. We're going to get to a lot of different points. She's making her exit plan on his dime, not even on her dime. She wasn't even working and just taking her money and putting it in the account, not spending it in the household. At least you won't be stealing. It's still not being a team player and being a hyena, but at least she wouldn't have been stealing the money that he make. Thank you, Gloria said, how could she be so greedy? This is the most money she has ever had. And what happens when you need more? You know what? Let's talk about that for a second. And thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for 35, 45 minutes for the super sticker. We're going to talk about what you said, Miss Gloria. When you saying that this is the most money she has ever had. Yes. He upgraded her and she's scared because she's scared it's going to go away. She's scared of a couple of things. She ain't never seen money be earned like that before. He upgraded her. He took her out of $27,000 a year to the six figures that he makes. Probably anywhere from $120,000 to $150,000, maybe $160,000 per year. She has never seen a bank account with more than 3 figures in it at once. So when she happened to realize or happened to know or find out or he told her or whatever the case might have been, and she saw that there were 5 figures at a time in the bank account, she got scared. I'm going to tell you what she got scared of. Thank you, Abik says she's not in marriage till death do them part. Yeah, she's not in a marriage at all. I'm going to tell you what's scared her. Thank you, Miss Jordan. Because she's still living in a lost value system. She's still living here. Now, what's the importance of this? The importance of this is not only it being the lost value system and what I've said before, it being a depiction of white supremacy. This is also a depiction of the poverty mindset. That's the other facet of the value systems that we're going to start talking more about. The scarcity poverty mindset versus the abundance wealthy mindset. The lost value system is the poverty mindset. It is the scarcity mindset. And see, you got to come out of the mindset. When you have been broken, dusty, and a bum like this lady obviously has been a bum, and she ain't never had nothing and never seen nothing, they get scared about losing it. See, when you have a scarcity mindset, you always think it's going to go away. You don't have no faith in the fact that it can stay. The money is attached to him. She don't know how to go get that money. That's why she didn't do it. She don't know how to, all she know how to do is work a little low-level job. That's all she know how to do. And she don't want to go back to that. She don't want to go back to customer service wages and stuff like that. She don't want to go back to that. She don't want to go back to making 27, 28, barely $30,000 a year. She don't want to go back to that. This man makes six figures. Them the best countertops she ever had in her house. They not for, how you pronounce it, Formica. They actually granite. She ain't never seen countertops like that. She ain't never been in a place where the baseboard and the floor meet each other. You understand what I'm talking about? This is the first time she moved to an apartment and the cabinets ain't brown. Do you understand? And that little press board, particle board. This is the first time she been in a place and all the appliances worked and they was all stainless steel. Do you understand? So she's scared. This is the best she done ever lived, and she knows she can't do that for herself. She cannot give this lifestyle to herself. And it's that man, didn't sound rich. He sounded like he was doing well. You understand? This is the first time she done had a real headboard to her bed. And it was a platform bed frame and not the old school bed frame that you cut your toe on. She never had that. She was on the mattress. She was on the mattress on the floor. Her box spring and her mattress was on the floor. She's also scared that she don't have what it takes as a woman to just keep him around. And therefore you keep the lifestyle that he gives. Because you're being a good wife and there's no reason for you to think that he would leave. So she knows she don't have no faith in herself to be a good wife, to maintain that marriage and thus the lifestyle that he is providing for her. And she's just full of fear. See, that's part of the poverty mindset, to be full of fear. You operate from a place of being fearful to lose. Therefore, you never win because you never take chances and you never just go out there. You never have a plan because you always are predisposed into failures. This is the overarching problem of the hyenas in the Black community. The poverty scarcity mindset, operating in fear. They don't know what it is or what it looks like to be functional. So they fight tooth and nail to stay dysfunctional because even though it's destructive, it's what they know. Let's see. Thank you, Seaside Blue Side. I paid off our bills when I was married. 2 cars, a sports bike, her school loans, and CC's. I only had a mortgage and was paying that fast. One day, she bought a new $48,000 car without checking with me. I filed shortly after. Wow. Wow. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. Abik Israel said, how much does being a wife pay? Is their mindset? Are we going to go there? But before we get to that side of the cook, after these messages, we'll be, before I say after these messages, we'll be right back. Do I have what I want to have here? No, I don't. No, I don't. We'll go to a commercial in a minute. But I'm glad you said what you said about leaving her. All of that stuff got paid and done not by her hand, not because she was working with you or that she was financially literate or that she understood what was going on with the finances or what was going on with the money to assist or help or pay her own debt off. The fact that she came to you and she had debt was a problem. It's problematic when these chicks come into these marriages and they have a substantial debt. I came to my husband, my current husband right now. I came to my husband with no debt. He don't got to work and pay nothing off for me because I didn't come to him at a deficit. You understand? I came to him at a surplus, not a deficit. So he wasn't looking at me and then looking at my financial situation like, man, I got to really save this chick because she's drowning in a sea of bad financial decisions. Now, after these messages, we'll be right back.
Friends and family, I would like you to check out blackcommunityspeak.com. Now, blackcommunityspeak.com is a forum-based website, so something that's very simple, where you can get on, you can get off, get involved with a lot of topics. Now, Black Community Speaks is a place that's for Black men and women to talk about issues that's affecting the entire community. So on blackcommunityspeak.com, they talk about topics in the range of news, what's going on in society, relationships, technology, business, food and recipes, gaming, health and fitness, music, and many, many more. On Black Community Speak, it's a place where you can be safe to say what you want to say without the fear of big tech censorship. So make sure you head on over to blackcommunityspeak.com and sign up today.
I actually really like, I don't know if my mods can pin a comment for me. I'm not sure. But in any case, what you want to do is go to the link that I've posted in the chat, www.blackcommunityspeak.com. And what this is, let me tell you a little bit about the new sponsor. This is a Black man who has created these forums, and he created the forums in order to provide basically a safe space for Black people in our community to come and discuss with one another the problems and the solutions in a way where it's positive, where we don't have to be super censored about everything that we're saying and things of that nature and being shut down by, bigger platforms and things of these nature. You really want to hit that link and visit that forum. Signing up is absolutely free. Participation is also free. It's a very classy, very clean looking forum, very easy to navigate. It's a pleasure on the eyes to actually look at and be part of, because I know sometimes those forums that you visit, they are difficult to follow because they're ugly. To be honest with you, they're difficult to follow because it's links everywhere and you don't know where to go. But this is a very, very clean, professional, wonderful looking forum where people really need to go and hash out our issues with one another and come up with positive solutions to our myriad of issues. So you definitely want to go. Now, I know that you hear Phil doing the voice, but the brother that created it is not Philip Scott. Is not Philip Scott. That he's not the creator of the forums. However, we do definitely support the concept and the energy behind creating the forum. So please go ahead, hit that link that I posted and become a member of blackcommunityspeak.com and share your thoughts on our issues. Okay. All right. So I want to, let's see. Do I need to do the thumb dance for everybody? I might need to do the thumb dance for everybody. Right? Yep, I do. Because we got 444 people who have hit the like button as far as I can see. And so let's see if we can get the other 400 or 500 people to hit the like button. So bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, So go ahead and hit the like button. Let's get us in the algorithm. Okay. Let's go ahead and get us in the algorithm. All right. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pin that message to the top of the chat. All right. Thank you so much, Ziad, for your super sticker. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Let's get into the realities of what this clip was. I'm not even going to touch the other one with old girl giving $300 to her ex that's in jail. We're not going to touch that one because I think this one is a little bit more telling. It's a little bit more in depth with what we need to talk about and what we need to discuss. What this woman did and what so many Black women support, because the comments were quite supportive from Black women, is it highlights the indifference and the overall disregard for marriage. And I'm going to tell you where that indifference comes from. And that disregard, the ability to disregard marriage in this country by Black women. So caught up are Black women in the legalities of the concepts of marriage and the finances that are tied to marriages and to relationships that they no longer regard the marriage as a spiritual union. Now that's important, and we're going to talk about why that's important. It's not a spiritual union. What it is that she's always a whore and he's always a trick. She's always a whore, and Black men, be it her husband or not, is always a trick. It's always a game to her that she must win and a Black man must lose. Relationships, marriages, whether there's commitment or not, whether there's children or not, whether there's time given or not, whether there's energy or not, these are not spiritual unions to hyenas. These are transactional trick John whore setups for them. This is why they don't recognize the spiritual marriage as a marriage, even though it has a spiritual foundation. Black women do not care about the spiritual implications of a marriage. It is not a union to them in the spiritual sense. It is 100% a transaction. This is why when they start talking about the spiritual parts of marriage, what you're supposed to actually do in with your husband, in your marriage, in your household, with other people, things of that nature, all of that is lost. Because all of that depends on the internal value of that woman, and they have none. So this is not a spiritual union to them. It's just a long-term whore trick John contract. That is what marriage is. This is why they make exit plans. This is why they don't mind dragging men through child support. This is why they don't mind dragging men for alimony. This is why they don't mind getting men for everything. This is why they don't mind paternity fraud. This is why they don't mind having all kind of men over your kids and won't let you be a father to your kids. This is why they don't mind doing all of that stuff. This is why they don't mind it, because this is just a whore fleecing her John. That's all. And she gotta win the game, because it is a game. This is the main difference between a hyena and a lioness in marriage. We consider it spiritual, whether you go through the state or not. It is a spiritual union. And we are tied to our husbands, regardless what a paper say and what a paper don't say. That's why it's not difficult for lionesses to fall into order. It's not difficult for lionesses to be submissive or supportive or cooperative. It's not difficult for lionesses to do this, because we don't see it as a transaction. We see it as a spiritual union for which we are responsible and accountable to our lords, be whether we are Christian, Muslim, or of any other spiritual leaning. We follow our husbands wherever he go, we go. If he go up, we go up. If he go down, we go down. If he go to the side, we go to the side. It just is what it is, because we take accountability for being chosen by that man. And the only way we break that pride is not because of squirreling away money. We don't squirrel away money to make exit plans out of our marriages. The only time a lioness truly leave a marriage, she leaves that marriage, is the bond was broken by him. He has to stop, never to resume, giving us 4 Ps. If his leadership, if his system, order, and structure crumbles, we cannot be lionesses with him. And that is when we put our heads down, we cry our tears, and we leave. And he knows that we're leaving, and he knows why we are leaving. Because we've said it in no uncertain terms well before it got there, because lionesses don't want to leave. We don't like being uncovered. We don't like leaving stones unturned in an effort to repair or fix what is wrong in the marriage. So when we see an issue, be whether we're the cause of the issue, he the cause of the issue, or something external, we try to help and say, okay, well, we got to find solutions to this. Our first inclination is not to leave. That's why sometimes lionesses get caught up way longer in a situation than we should be, because that's not our first inclination in the first place. Our first inclination is to stay, because we don't like the pride being broken. It don't make us feel good. That's not a point of joy. That's not a win. It's not a victory. It's not a victory. It's a loss. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Lou Casely. Thank you, sweetheart. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much, Miss Lucchese. I greatly appreciate you. That is a lioness's first inclination to try. And we will go to the very edge. We will go to our breaking points in an effort to repair, because a lioness always feel like it's something that we did. There was some kind of accountability. Something we did, something we didn't do, something we should have seen, something that we didn't see, something we missed. Because lionesses take accountability for our part. Was I too silent? Did I let things go too much? Was I too quiet? Maybe that didn't help the relationship. Maybe I should have spoken up more and had more conversation. Maybe I should have communicated better here. And maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. Lioness always thinks about, what could I have done more or better or less of or whatever. A hyena just go because she was never invested. That's the other part. Not in relationships, because marriages are spiritual investments. The reason why hyenas can walk away without no feeling, the reason why she could sit there on that bed and look that man in his eyes and tell him what he gonna do about it, is because she was never invested. There was never a spiritual investment. So she don't feel nothing. It was all calculated. That's like planning to go into a banking job and work for 5 years because you're going to steal. You don't put your emotions into that. You don't start loving your job or speaking to your coworkers or getting chummy with nobody, because you got a plan. You know you trying to be out of there between 5 to 10 years, and you trying to make it out of there with at least $500,000. Thank you, Tarrant said relationships and marriages should never have to feel like a transaction, but they make it a transaction. Thank you so much. They make it a transaction. And this is the thing. He's got, for a hyena in a relationship with a black man, he's got to lose or suffer somehow, because only in a transaction there is a clear winner and a clear loser. She's not even in it for the win-win. He gets something out of it, she gets something out of it. She has to make sure that he suffers from it. That's the key. She don't make clean breaks, neutral breaks. No. She dig. He gotta. Now he might not even been doing nothing to her. This is not revenge. She just gotta do it. Thank you, Nuruddin. Said, after I saw that video, fellas, by the order of your king, Nuruddin, leave these queens and sell out and get your passport and run your life. Thank you so much, Nuruddin. See, this is what I want to point out. The sexual market value. It's not a spiritual union, because when you take a look at the chart and you see where it says spiritual, right underneath that is loving, purposeful, and satisfying. These hyenas have none of that in the, whether there's a ring present or not. There's never any of that. There's never any emotional connection that she shares with her husband. There's never any true purpose for wanting to be a wife and trying to have children and There's no thought of legacy building and, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. That she's not trying to satisfy her husband nor herself on a spiritual level. She's not trying to. Because all of that is a spiritual component of a marriage. This is why they're not in marriages. Marriages are not the piece of paper you get from the state. Marriage is the commitment that is made between you, your spouse, and in front of your Lord. That's the marriage. If you want to go get the legal paperwork and deal with the state, that's a completely different that's the transaction. The union happened before the transaction. If you want to go down to City Hall and get you a marriage license, that's something completely different than the marriage. Notice they don't never want to just deal with the marriage. When men say, we'll marry you just without the involvement of the state, because we as a group of men are not trying to be subject to what the state does. I'm not going to have the state running my household over me and your ability to wield it against me. This is why they never agree to that. Because that, what men are talking about when they say we'll marry you just without the state, we can't involve the state in it. They buck against it so hard because that is the marriage. They are not trying to be married. Men are talking about the emotional, internal investment to a marriage and to a commitment and to a relationship with him. She is not trying to get into that. She's trying to avoid that by any means necessary. This is why you starting to see a lot of women say, and let me put y'all up on game. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be put up on game. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to tell y'all something about that state thing. Don't let the hyena talk fool you like these women are coming around. Be careful of a chick that's ready to forego the wedding and just go down to the courthouse without any fanfare. She don't need the church. She don't need her family. She don't need your family. She don't need a reception. She don't need none of that. She don't need a special dress. She don't need none of that. And I'm willing to just go down to the courthouse with my husband. See, don't be careful about that. It seems like she's coming around, like she's not, gold digging, and she's not materialistic, and she's really invested in just being with you because she's not requiring you to spend a bunch of money on a wedding. She don't need, that's not important. What's important is that piece of paper. Because whether she had a ceremony or not is immaterial in the face of what she can do with that paper. The state don't care what kind of ceremony you did or did not have. They are not there to help you have a ceremony. They are there to help you sign documents. The real test is the woman that'll take the ceremony without the paper. So you might have to spend a couple of dollars on the ceremony, but she willing to do that without ever going to get that paper. And you can say what you want to say about the need of the paper and it's the legality. Let me say something else. Hey, Miss Dee Dee, I see you, sweetheart. Let me tell y'all something else about it. About that paper. I'm gonna say something, because a lot of I'm aware of the pushback. You have to beware of this. Beware of this next statement. You need to get legally married because the Bible tells us to live by and abide by the law of the land. Let me debunk that. Because that statement gets misused in this conversation. And the statement is typically used by people who want to avoid the spiritual connotations of a marriage, or to belittle the spiritual connotation of a marriage. Abiding by the law of the land in the context that it's supposed to be used means not to contravene the law. Don't start breaking the law. Don't be a menace in society because you are a criminal. The laws that you cannot break are the same laws that don't make you go against God's law. Go with the law of the land as long as it go with God's law. If the law of the land changes and it goes against God's law, you are not bound to do that. Now, that's number one. Number two, it is not against the law to not be legally married. I'll repeat. It's not against the law to not be legally married. The state don't care who you sleep with. The state don't care who you live with. The state don't care if you have kids with these people or how many, or if you never have them at all. The state don't care whether you love each other or not. The state don't care. The state only care when you make the state care. The state get in your business when you put the state in your business. Other than that, there's no crime being committed if you cohabitate and you have a spiritual marriage. No crime. The state doesn't care about that. They don't even know. They don't even know what you did. Because if it was against the law to not be married, it would also be against the law to have children out of wedlock. Because that means you was together if you got kids. You see the slippery slope? Thank you, Black Goku Zero. In other words, you want to see if the woman you're going to marry is either a lioness or a chameleon. That's the true test, in my opinion. Exactly. Thank you, Getty, for your super sticker, sweetheart. Thank you so much. That's what I wanted to say about that. It's not against the law to not be married. But once you invite the state into your life like that, into your private life, with your private decisions, whether your decisions are good, bad, or indifferent, that's when everything becomes the state's business. Okay. That's when you make the state your master. Now Zaddy gets to step in and dictate who does what, who can do what, who can have what, who gets to live like a prince and who gets to live like a pauper. Because you invite them and the state is corrupt. So you invite a corrupted entity to come corrupt you. When the state was not notified when you and him got together. State that you didn't head down to no official place when y'all met up and started having sex with each other and going out. Y'all didn't tell nobody nothing. You didn't go sign no paper to do that. Nobody accosted you about it. That's why you don't put the state in your business like that. Put the state in your business. Unless you want the state in your business. And the only people that want the state in your business is people who benefit from the state being in your business. And men don't benefit from that. Women do. And Black women like to use it because this is an age-old contract between her and Zaddy against you. Thank you, Mr. Good Vibration. Shalom. Thank you so much. So I wanted to just point that out. We gonna cook all week. I got so much planned. I got so much planned for us. Do y'all understand that? We got so much to discuss, but I can't do it all in one day. I wish I could, but I can't. So I want everybody to go to crimsoncure.com, pick up your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery. That thing gonna fall. Pick up your copy of the book. Thank you, Reginald Sims. Thank you so much. Also, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.